Hello, and welcome to All the Best Bits. This is Will, and as usual, I've been joined by Kevin. Kevin, how are you?
I'm grand.
I was going to call you by your Irish name, Cuivine, but I just went, no, hold on.
Cuivine Oleon.
But Cuivine, we're not alone. Tonight we've been joined by a guest who is with us for...
It was the second episode of season 2.
Sequel reboot scene.
Episode 19.
Is Joe Barton. Joe, hello. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Sure,
Delighted to be here again.
It's lovely to have you. It's lovely to have you.
This is my sequel.
Oh, really? Yes, it is your sequel and reboot, possibly. Yeah. Potentially, depending where you bring it out. How's life with you?
It's fine, thanks, Will. Yeah. Good. It's early October. I'm enjoying spooky season. I'm feeling
excellent.
Autumnal.
No, great. It's January. It's Christmas is over. It was a great Christmas.
Oh, we did. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
It's January. I'm feeling bloated from my Christmas excess.
But tonight we're watching E.T. and as per usual, we're going to, the three of us anyway, are going to sync up our copies, which is, conveniently at the very beginning. And we're going to hit play once I count down from 3 or up to 3, or basically once I stop speaking.
Don't do this again. Just count down.
I'm going to go 3 down to 1. All right.
C, B, A, and go.
Cat, dog, armadillo, play. So, are you ready, lads? Have you got your copies of E.T. ready to go?
Yes,
I do.
VHS is in.
Yeah. Excellent. Great. Okay. And on 3, 2, 1, play.
And we're off.
Universal and MCA company. I have such nostalgia for that studio logo ident.
It's a classic, isn't it? It's better than what's Universal now. It's a very fancy digital,
Oh, it goes all around the world. The logo spins out from around the... oh, look at that T. That's a nice T. It looks like the T from our logo.
It's quite familiar for some reason.
It being purple. I remember it being a purple logo.
And when's the first time what's your, I suppose, have any of these strong memories about seeing this for the first time? I suppose maybe that's the way I can...
No.
You don't?
I remember I was fucking terrified of this film as a child. Really scared. Yeah, it really scared me. The first couple of times I tried to watch it, I couldn't. Why? I think the beginning is quite creepy when he's sort of something's there's like he's waiting outside for it, and I think it's quite creepy. I haven't watched it for a while, so we'll find out. But in my head, it was terrifying.
The tone of that opening scene is actually quite ominous and terrifying, and I feel this might have been my first cinema experience, but not a complete one, because I have a vague memory of when I've been very, very young, being taken to the cinema when we were on holidays, and being absolutely terrified by the opening scene, and my father having to take me back to the caravan. But maybe that's just one of those.
It's funny you say that, because originally this started out as a horror script, and it was written by John Sayles. It was called Night Skies, and Spielberg was developing it while he was shooting Indiana Jones. And Harrison Ford's girlfriend, or wife, I think, Melissa Matheson, was asked to read the script, and she hated it. But she liked one little thing about it. She liked the friendly alien. And she said to Spielberg, "That's your movie." And so he jettisoned everything else about the script, all the sort of the home invasion stuff and the glowing finger, which was how the aliens used to kill people. And he moved all that spooky stuff over to Poltergeist. And E.T. became this childhood classic that it is.
I mean, that's a hell of a note, isn't it? That's a hell of a note to get. Like, I hate 98% of what you've got, but I like the character.
But she was right, though, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was right.
She really was, yeah. She really was.
Believe women.
You see, all this stuff, it's also, we have to remember, we're not hearing it because we've got the volume down, but the John Williams score right here, the tone of that score is quite ominous and threatening. And
it is.
That's I think what adds to the sense of dread and terror right here. Oh, see the stuff that's. Are you seeing the inside the alien ship? Is this a special edition, perchance?
I don't know.
As if it's a special edition.
Oh no! We might actually be watching the special edition, which has got all the
shitty.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What's that? That looks like shit. That looks like it's supposed to be some sort of alien turd that we're
And you know
at.
that Spielberg has disowned this.
Well, let's find out why.
Well, I've got serious because I've really, really studied the special edition. I'm not joking. And I was back in my earlier days. I actually was teaching a screenwriting course or class.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used this special edition as an example of how repetition can really kill the pace of your script. And when we get to it, I can point it out. But yeah, that seeing the inside of the alien ship really took us out of.
It just looks a bit Doctor Who-ish.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've got the alien CGET as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first lesson in screenwriting class would be don't
do this.
Would be don't do it. Don't
start.
Don't bother.
Don't fucking bother. But it is like this stuff is very creepy. I mean, even this.
Don't annoy me. That'd be my next lesson. Oh no! I cannot believe that I'm after setting us all up with this inferior copy.
Yeah.
Let's
just. It'll be an interesting experiment.
I think it is. Yeah, it is an interesting experiment. You can because I feel that's the puppet, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, listen, the CGET stands out a mile. Oh, it looks awful. It really does look awful.
What about the CG walkie-talkies?
Yeah, they'll stand out too. But it's a cracking film, and I do feel like for me, it's a tale, one of Spielberg's most personal films. Well, it's one of his more personal films because it seems
it's
to be
his favorite film.
I wouldn't blame him, but it's obviously him dealing with his parents' divorce, which is actually a sweet story.
Isn't that how it is? Oh, sorry, go on. I was going to say, is that Harrison Ford? Is Keyes Harrison Ford? I remember reading.
It's Coyote, Peter Coyote. Harrison Ford's in this.
The teacher.
No, I have the. He was shot. They shot him as the principal, and the scene is on YouTube. But they never included the scene because they thought having Harrison Ford in the film would be too distracting. So it's not. He's not actually the teacher, but you would. Yeah, some people think it is, but he's seen was cut.
I can tell you who the girl is in the classroom that he steps on you step on the books or onto chairs or something to kiss her.
He steps on a kid. He steps on another kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's Summer from Baywatch.
Erika Eleniak.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
She was the girl that burst out of the cake in Under Siege.
Yeah.
Playmate, I think, of July or something like
that. You get the month right. What were you saying about the divorce, Will?
My recall has gone. Oh yeah, well I feel this is a film all about a kid coming to terms with the divorce of his parents. And that's for me at the heart of this. But there's a really, Spielberg's parents actually have a really sweet kind of like story where they did divorce. His mother had an affair with another man. But listen to this: they divorced, and Spielberg really took against his dad for all those years. He never really knew the background of why the divorce happened. But like 30 years later, they reconciled. The parents reconciled and got remarried, and they're back together again. I think they're probably dead, but ultimately they got back together again.
I think his dad did die recently. That's interesting. I didn't realize they got back together. I knew that he had always blamed his dad, and that's why, like, his first 10 movies are about abandoning dads. But like, why didn't anyone tell him? If you think like you're his dad and you're sitting there watching E.T. and Jaws and all of his films which are about dads abandoning their kids and being like, wait a fucking minute.
But listen to this. It's got some. It's a testament to his dad's character. His dad didn't want his mother him to hate his mother. So his dad let himself be the fall guy for the destruction. He let himself be the fall guy, which is incredible. Incredible, I think.
He was like, it's working. The kids being successful.
I remember when my parents were getting divorced, and I have a vivid memory of my dad. He was doing press-ups, and I used to climb on his back to see if he could still do them and sort of like lift me up and stuff. And then after he did that, and I was like showing him some funny things that I saw with, it's so vivid to me, it stands out still to this day, showing him sort of like jokes that I saw with Roadrunner. He said to me that him and my mum were going to split up, and who did I want to live with?
Oh God.
And
Jesus.
and I remember thinking, well, if I don't live with my mum, she'll be brokenhearted. But I think that you're strong enough to be able to. And this is me like a 5.5, like not even 6.
Wow.
And he said, okay. And that was
Oh my God. That is unbelievable. That's
such a hard thing to ask a child. I don't think you should ever really give.
Well,
the option.
I suppose what else can you do other than just disappear?
Wow.
Well, or make the decision with your partner that you're splitting up with, and then sort of tell your child. I don't know.
Yeah,
everyone's different.
I don't think there's a right way to divorce, really. Although they do say there's no such thing as a bad divorce. It's a good end to a bad marriage.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What I love about Spielberg's films are some of my favorite things in his early films anyway, is his kitchen scenes, where he has lots of characters talking over each other. And when I was young, I used to look at these kids gathered around the table playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I used to think that they were grown men because they're just so mature looking. And now I look at them and they're just kids playing Dungeons and Dragons. They're like probably the school nerds.
They're Stranger Things kids.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it.
But I feel that this film corrected the mistake that I feel is made with Close Encounters, where that ends with Richard Dreyfuss choosing to leave his family, leave Terry Garr and his 2 kids, and go off with the aliens. And this, as I said in that episode with Kieran Foy, Elliot decides to stay with his family. And I think that's such a much more beautiful arc and more affecting ending. Mm-hmm. This is so beautiful, though.
See, this is around the time, I think, when I was like properly getting shit up. Like, I think I remember this scene when the ball comes back out the shed. I was like, "Fuck no!" He's running away. It is so beautiful, though. I don't remember this film sort of looking as nice as it does.
Oh, it's beautifully shot. But
you're right about those kitchen scenes. It's like almost like a little Robert Altman movie or something, and all the overlapping sort of 70s dialogue and the mess of it, and it looks really like it's just the set decoration is great, like an ugly lamp and stuff, which is quite nice.
It was back when families looked middle class. Everyone didn't look like they lived in.
There was an interesting article about this, wasn't there? There was like a whole Father of the Bride era movie where suddenly so-called middle class people lived in
mansions,
vast mansions. Yeah, exactly, and why that started happening and how it used to be.
Hey, I've watched this film so many times and kind of analysed it. I even have like a theory about their kitchen table.
Oh yeah,
and their kitchen table is triangular, which indicates, for me, that it's a family. It's not a rectangular table. It's missing a corner. It's missing a piece.
Oh, you're going deep. Going deep with the production. I love it.
Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, I'm convinced production they made that choice consciously. I'm convinced when for a fact they didn't.
I bet all these were sets because this is Spielberg, coming off of a string of hits, so he could do what he wanted at this stage.
Like a set.
It wouldn't be like a found location and they just make it do.
This was shot by Alan
Davro.
Thank you. I was going to let you. So he shot some
totally other... wrong, I bet, how I pronounced that, but I was looking up just because it's so beautiful.
So he also shot Emperor of the Sun and The Color Purple and Emperor of the Sun.
Okay. He got 3 films out of Spielberg.
When did Spielberg start working just with Janusz Kaminski?
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. Dean Cundey and Schindler's List. That was Dean Cundey was shooting. Just finished Jurassic Park and straight on to Schindler's List. So they've worked together since. I think, isn't that right?
Yeah.
He's.
We were saying on a podcast, it was like, wouldn't you feel really fucked off if you got to work with Spielberg once and then he swapped you up for somebody else? It's like, motherfucker, he keeps making all these films with him. What did I do wrong?
Yeah, man. He made one of his most successful movies as well.
Yeah, it's like, it purely must have been like a personality thing. Like the vibe was just not the same.
And he does work with the same team over and over again, like the same crew and all that. You know, he does have a family of people he likes to work with.
Yeah, just like this podcast. Joe's become part of the family that we like to
return
to.
Old cousin Joe coming back in. So now Elliot's going into the he's going out into the cornfield.
The corn.
Yeah.
Is this his first film with a child protagonist?
Well, unless as a protagonist, I think yes. Yep.
Because he returns to this theme multiple times. Like, he's done more films with kids in lead roles or in significant roles than I think any other director. It's a real fascination for him.
We really need to work together, this young Spielberg guy and me, you know.
That young whippersnapper, Will Collins.
Yeah. With that other up-and-comer Spielberg. Cheekers.
How old is Spielberg now? He's got to be pushing like 70 odd.
Oh, he's over 70, I'm sure.
Horrific. Why is E.T. such a horrific creature? Like, why did they design such
poo boy,
horrible looking beast?
He looks like a turd with eyes.
He does. He looks like a. It's just like a tumor with little legs.
Wasn't there something to do with he was like was it Gandhi or something? There was some sort of
Einstein. There was some Einstein elements.
Einstein's eyes, yeah, something like that. He wanted very wise eyes.
Yeah, it's all about the eyes. It's all about the eyes. If you make the eyes big enough, then you could love a pile of poo. You know, stick some googly eyes on some poo, and you go. Oh.
But I swear there was a whole thing around this time of like children's films just having unnecessarily fucked up looking characters, like the thing from the Goonies. Why is that? Why
Sloth chunk?
Those guys are Jerry O'Connell. No, that was Jerry O'Connell this time. But
how could they put a fatty in a film? Oh my god!
Charles Brolin. No, but they Sloth, right?
Sloth, yeah.
Why is he? I remember watching that and being just like, what is it? It's like this.
Oh, but you ended up just like, he's like a Quasimodo. You end up just like loving him because
nope, never.
I did. He was wearing a Superman t-shirt. I was like, he's my buddy.
Yeah, when he allied with him, I was with him. When he allied with him, he's a menacing. He's initially this monster in the basement, and they befriend the monster. He's King Kong.
Oh, it's beautiful. But that's such a screamy film. That's one of those films like Temple of Doom where I went back and revisited it when I was in my 20s and thought, oh Christ, this is too much altogether. But
it's so shouty.
Yeah, it's just like, shut up, you little bastards. I can understand why Richard Donner, after he finished that film, he went off to like Hawaii on vacation. He just needed a break. He needed to get as far away from the children as possible. And Spielberg had rented out a beach cabin right next to Donner's, and he got all the kids to fly out there. And when Donner was walking along the beach with his wife, trying to relax, all the kids came running up the beach to him, and he thought, oh, Jesus. That they were also going to be on holiday with him, and yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare.
Awful. Will, I'm looking at this table, man. I'm seeing 4 sides to it. I think you're wrong.
Look again.
It's triangular, but there's one flat side at the end, so technically it's not a triangle.
I always like on sitcoms where they sit on either side of a corner. They don't sit facing each other. What is a triangle?
What?
Well,
what is
it's a shape with 3 sides.
It's a 3-sided shape.
No, I didn't say what is it. I said it is a triangle.
No, it's not. Because
you're saying there's a little like 6-inch
Yeah,
it's a decahedron.
Look, right where the mum is, that is a flat side right at the back.
Yeah. Listen, Joe. Like I it's a series that I'm going to go to my grave with, and I'm pro triangle. You might be an anti-triangler. Yeah.
Well, you're breaking up every so often, so I'm just hoping that this is going to come through on the recording. It did the last time, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It still uploads, and you're breaking up for me a little bit as well.
Oh, good.
Oh, it solves itself. The internet fixes itself, doesn't it?
It does.
Try turning your cameras off. Maybe that's sometimes that.
I got all set up and like built my little set here with my little figurines behind me and my
grabber's poster.
I did, yeah. It's the only poster I have that I can hang. All right, I'm going to turn off my camera as well. Fuck you. My God, I forgot we're actually recording.
No, we're at the scene at the dinner at the kitchen table, the three-sided, the triangular table. Yeah. And I absolutely love this scene. I think it's the performances here, the blocking, but it also, when the mother gets upset, then the older brother, his reaction of getting thick with Elliot, that, why you making her upset? He's the emotion and performance he gets from his kids are, it feels like it's almost a documentary, it's incredible.
It's really good. Did you see that? Like, there's that famous, like, the footage of the audition of Elliot.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. But I mean, I'm always suspicious of that, because it's like he's there and he does his like big screaming audition, and then everyone applauds, and someone off camera, I don't know if it's Spielberg or someone else, says, "Well, you got the part, kid."
Spielberg says that.
Is it Spielberg?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh, that was just his audition." I'm like, you'd never say that in the audition room. Unless it must have been a callback. Like, if you had other people even like potentially in the running, you'd never just say you. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I just read leading up to this was that Elliot's Henry Thomas's auditions previous to this were a disaster. He came in dressed as Indiana Jones, and I think he was very wooden, and it didn't really work out. And it was only when they did the improvisation bit that he actually came through, and they called him back on the quality of his improvisation scene, and they did that bit. So it was a callback. It wasn't like a first.
It was okay.
No,
so I think they knew. I think when he started.
Yeah.
Would you sit there or would you run when this thing is coming towards you?
See, this is what I'm talking about. That's terrifying.
Yeah. And it's even the noises he's making as well. That these long tentacle fingers coming at you.
Look at the videos.
This is a horror film, all right.
It is. Look at
it. You pussies.
You've got to get your horrible hand off me. Get your horrible fingers off me.
He's returning his little Skittles.
No, that's true.
Never take candy from strangers, kids.
If Elliot had gone with them at the end, he'd have just been flown away to their own planet, experimented on.
That wasn't that the sequel? I think that they wrote a draft for the sequel, and it had Elliot going off to the planet of the ETs.
Nocturnal something. There's something.
Nocturnal emissions.
What's that? But yeah, and I think there was a treatment for that. There was a script, but I think I definitely read a treatment for that, and it was pretty sinister.
That's a straight up horror movie shot. That hand coming out of the thing. It's just That's a very not to get too sort of film school about it, but it's a great sort of economy of storytelling to cut from E.T. dropping the Skittles on his lap to then Elliot dropping the Skittles on the carpet, and you get instantly what's going on.
He's been leading the little bird back.
Disgusting.
And it's been set up earlier when he was out in the woods. It's, that visual language has been set up even earlier than these scenes.
It's a payoff.
Yeah.
TIE fighter there.
And Richard Dreyfuss was the man in the suit for E.T.
Hardy har.
Injecting some levity into this.
Oh boy.
He has a cool little bedroom, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah. He's like a type of bedroom that, well, in my universe, they did not exist. Basically, that was the size of some people's houses.
Don't lock him in there with you.
You really dislike this little alien.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to. It's one of those few films where I would be in floods of tears by the end of it. I don't think it's going to get me this time because the music isn't there, and the music is like that's the stuff that taps into your soul.
Yeah,
We could
all of this, all of these scenes, the score really does a lot of the legwork with creating the wonder and the terror in the early scenes, that dread and fear, but now the kind of the wonder. And John Williams just an absolute magician. He really, really was.
Mm.
Like Spielberg does, and at least to be fair, Spielberg does give him credit, and he has gotten credit for the part he's played in the success of Spielberg's films.
Who? Henry Thomas?
No, I'm talking about John Williams and.
Oh right, sorry, I was just sending an email. Sorry.
Oh God. I wouldn't be getting tired. If I had an alien in my bedroom, I just wouldn't all of a sudden feel it. But the thing is, the two of them have kind of created a psychic link.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So E.T. is tired, Elliot's tired. That's what's actually going on.
He drugged the skills.
So that's
you've got this sort of shy, this closed off kid who's just got so much frustration within him, and he doesn't know how to get it out, and he's just irritated by his family, and he just becomes a receptacle for this open-hearted alien, and it's so beautiful that the simplicity of the story and the little journey that Elliot goes on.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't get this when I first watched it, that they were sharing that he was tired because he was tired. I was like, why is he?
Oh, they really hammer it home in the special edition. They really go to town on it. Yeah, you're like, yes, I get it. I get that they share.
I like how that some of the lamps are blue and some of the lamps. Some of the flashlights are blue and some of the flashlights are red.
Oh yeah, and purple. One like, oh yeah, it's probably blue. It's probably that's quite cool.
I like colours.
Do you think they have like when they hand out the torches at the beginning of the night when they're all going out? Well, who gets the red one?
He always gets the red one.
I want green, like Luke.
Like Luke.
Rank your favourite Spielberg movies then. Top 3. Would this be in the top 3?
Not for me.
Jeepers.
Jesus Christ. We picked the right person. What about you, Will?
Well, you have to give me a second because I probably actually have in my nerddom have actually probably ranked them in the past.
Sure
what about you, Kevin? You throw them out. So and let me think about it.
Well, Jaws number 1.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark number 2. And I might go E.T. number 3 actually.
Okay.
That's purely because I can't remember all the other films. Jewel. I love Jewel as well, but Jewel is a bit of an oddity.
Oh, it's a hipster, man.
Oh, it's fantastic.
For me, it's Jewel, it's Amistad, and it's probably Amblin. Probably the Sugarland Express is my number one.
Sugarland Express.
Yeah, I was a big fan of his earlier work, the TV movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Columbo.
Night Gallery.
Actually, I like Amblin, the actual short film he made when he was 12. That's the one I really like.
His best film, really. I also really love The Terminal. I think it's like a fantastic, underrated film.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to agree with you. Look, Jaws is up there as my favorite of Spielberg's films, without question. And
Poltergeist! Don't forget that one.
Oh yeah, he directed that, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Definitively on the record.
Okay, so actually, I would say I'm going Jaws number 1, E.T. second, and Raiders third. But guess what? In my top 5 is Jewel. Jewel is in my top 5.
Is it?
It is a really good film. Have you seen it, Joe?
I have not seen all of it.
That's why you're being so dismissive. It is actually a cracking film.
I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen all of it.
I saw the bit where the car was like going down the road, and I thought, I've seen enough. I get the gist.
I get it. I get it.
Like, I put it ahead of Jurassic Park. That's
like
how
Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were too cynical and old, hanging out the bike shed smoking cigarettes to go and really enjoy Jurassic Park when it came out.
I did. I actually I had to babysit someone through Jurassic Park. His name was some kid called Kevin Lehane, or he just wouldn't shut up.
I couldn't get Jonathan Rhys Meyers to take me, and
it's a callback.
It's a callback.
Set up, payoff, screenwriting lessons here, lads.
Like, how does Elliot have a parking meter in his bedroom? Like, he's obviously like a juvenile delinquent. Like, what else? Whatever.
It's like college kids where they rob like a traffic cone and like
traffic.
It's true. And 2 lamps. Look at that. Look at the lamp. Fucking hell. Johnny 2 lamps. But this is blatant, man. This is so, with playing with the Star Wars figures, I'm like, that's just
that's what everyone was like back then.
That was me. This was me. There's Lando Calrissian. I had that Lando Calrissian. So this was me at this age.
I remember going to a Santa grotto thing, and I got given who's the guy with the guy with the long tendril?
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah. Jabba the Hutt's sort of like translator or whatever.
Yeah.
I was given that, and I was like, "What's this fucking shite? I don't like this."
Yeah.
That was and that's my entire sort of dalliance with the Star Wars toydom.
Oh, really?
I was born too late for that.
Cool. When they did the re-release in the 90s, they released a lot of toys, and I got the toys then. When they brought out a lot of incredibly muscly Luke Skywalker toys, and like Han Solo, like proper buff.
I got my Qui-Gon Jinn. Oh, that's great.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the prequels. It was the
original ones.
The re-releases of the originals. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
A bit like this when they did the shitty CGI sort of.
Yeah, they He-Manned up the original characters, which I just do not get. I don't know what they were thinking. But no, the gas thing is you go into the shops, into the toy shops, and they have all those original toys in those original boxes.
Do they actually have toy shops anymore? I thought they shut them all down.
Oh, well, there's like one big name brand that's, you're welcome to sponsor us if you want. Smith's Toy Store, Superstore. But yeah, like they're doing like stuff like He-Man and all that sort of stuff that we grew up. Well, I grew up with
I grew up with He-Man as well. That was still big in like the early 80s.
Yeah. But a lot of the brands that were around in the 80s are still like big brands. Transformers, He-Man.
Guys, I remember walking back from school and a guy had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy. And he was just like showing it to us as we were walking back for our lunch, whatever. It must have been 7, 8.
Red flags.
He was the same age.
You guys want to see Michelangelo? Oh, right, same age. Okay. Wasn't like an old man.
Yeah, he was like, he opened his van. He said, "Come here, kids. Do you want to see this?
You want to see a rat?
Turtle head?
Want to see a talking fucking rat?"
He showed us this thing, and I was like, "What is this beautiful fucking thing? I need to have it." It was amazing. I'd never had that reaction to a toy before. I was like, Jesus Christ, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
They were cracking. Good lads.
They were. Good laugh.
Great lads. Great laugh.
Look at him. Great bunch, lads.
Okay, safe.
So Ellie's brother has come home now in the football gear. Everything about this, basically, I devoured these type of Americana when I was growing up, and it just, the world they lived in was, if I'd have died,
more
I would
advanced than our
it was
world.
more advanced. Oh yeah, you were decades ahead of us.
Yeah.
In many ways, it was like they were the aliens.
Yes.
Pull quote.
Did you go when you were growing up? Did you used to think that all Americans were rich? Because that was the thing. Is that every American is rich. That's how I fully believed it.
Because when we grew up, if we had any relatives that were in America, they were rich. Like it was just because we were poor. That was it. All of us were poor, and they were sending money back, and they were sending. That was what happened in the Irish for the Irish existence. Was people went to America and they went there and they were wealthy and they sent money back home. They sent jumpers back home.
It's like Angela's Ashes. They went off into frontier land. They bought some horses and they started.
I've seen Brooklyn. I've seen Brooklyn. I know what was going on.
Yeah, far and away. No, I just thought that the world of America just seemed cooler. They just seemed like they just had everything was better. They just seemed to have more entertainment and attractions and things you could do and
channels on the telly.
And listen, for me, it was like they had mixed schools. It's like, oh my God, imagine that! I didn't have to wear a school uniform. Everything just seemed like so much cooler.
When in actual fact, the school uniform is like a saving grace. You know, it's an.
It would have been for me. Like I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't be able to keep up with my different shell suits every day.
I don't know if you've ever read. Here's Drew Barrymore coming in and screaming. She's fantastic. Elliot's. I really would make contact with the carpenter that put up Elliot shelves because they didn't take much to bring the whole goddamn thing down.
A nice touch.
And Elliot's got a walk-in wardrobe.
He's got a walk-in wardrobe with a stained glass window in it.
Yeah. He's 8. What is he? He's like 10.
Doesn't need that much shit, man. He's got dartboards and everything, man. He's got two
Could you
Coke
imagine
cans.
giving an 8-year-old a dartboard? Jesus Christ. Somebody be getting blinded within the week.
Have you ever known anyone who's been blinded? Well, it's a rhetorical question because I have. I know someone who's blinded
by my beauty,
by a dart in the eye. Yeah,
really. Mm-hmm. At what age were they just down the pub, or like as a child?
Oh, he was in the pub. Yeah, he was in the pub. Yeah, so he was an adult. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I remember being in a beer garden, and I found a bone, sort of like a joint bone. Mm-hmm. And I threw it. I was only a small kid, about 5. I threw it and I hit my mum, who was like about 100 yards away, in the cheek. Belted it right across the face. It was just like throwing it into the air and it just went all the way across. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm going to get killed. I'm going to be...
That's it. Blamed it on your dad, and that's...
No, my dad was sitting with her. And it was just like, bang, right in the face. What the fuck? I cut her face with the corner of the bone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's all coming out. This is like therapy for me.
Did she have to get stitches or what was the...
No, I think she was just cut on the inside of her cheek. It was just like, but it was a proper belt. Didn't mean it, of course. I just was like fucking throwing her into the air, not realizing it would go in that direction.
Nice one, Damien.
That'll learn him. He's got so many toys, that kid. Jesus.
Yeah. And I think that was part of the appeal growing up as well. Is like he just had so many bloody toys. It was like, Jesus, that's the life.
They got that creepy little puppet thing again from like the Raggedy Ann doll type thing.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's just so beautifully shot, and they're just looking at each other. But that's a beautiful picture of the 3 faces of the kids.
Mm.
I'm sure that's a still that I've seen used.
Oh, it would be.
E.T.
Now, I think we have
an erection.
CG E.T.
E.T. Bears. Why does his neck do that?
So, come here. See the shot here where we're overlooking the. This is like a dolly out, zoom in, or zoom in, dolly out.
Yeah, it's like the jaw shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very slow, but like the effect is amazing, isn't it?
Cool. Same thing they do with the corridor in Poltergeist. When she's running down the corridor, and the corridor just seems to keep getting longer and longer and further away.
Cool.
That's what I said.
And that's how they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Jesus.
I thought that's a big kettle.
The portions in America, yeah.
Oh God.
But, Drew Barrymore is very good in this film. This was obviously her first ever.
Yeah, she was up for the Carol Ann role in Poltergeist, and he cast her in this instead.
Wow.
So it's like weird that she's never. Have you seen With It? Have you seen that film she directed?
Yeah, I did.
yeah.
It was fun.
It's on the flight.
It's great. I think it's really great. Why I don't know why she's never made another movie.
She's a talk show host now, I think.
Is she?
Yeah. She is, yeah.
Wow. I think from what I read, Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, was up for the role of the older brother, Mikey, whatever his name is.
Oh, really? So this is 2 years before. This is when he was. So Ralph Macchio would have been doing The Outsiders with Tom Cruise and Patrick Swayze and all those the Francis Ford Coppola movie.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, we used to have to watch it in school because it was part of. We had to read that book. It's good, but
Right.
you know, he would have been alright. He would have suited us, but he's too Italian looking for the two other kids.
Yeah, racist, right?
He's too Italian looking. If I had a penny for every time Kevin said that.
Oh, God.
Actually, Italians are white.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No. So
I'm just going on. I'm just sorry, lads. I'm just going to go on Twitter and cancel Kevin. Right? Where's the universal cancel button?
I'd love to be cancelled on Twitter, actually.
So far, we actually.
Let me complete that sentence. I'd love to be cancelled on Twitter just so I wouldn't be on Twitter anymore. I don't want to actually legitimately be cancelled. I'm cutting this out of the podcast.
Okay.
Italian Twitter came for me.
Mamma mia.
This is the worst thing since Chris Pratt got cast as Mario.
We have listeners in Italy, Kevin. We have listener.
Not anymore.
Police. Yeah. I love this. This is again. It's a class thing.
This is great.
Yeah.
What's happening?
So far, it hasn't been egregious, but it's really cool.
No, so far it's working for me. This is the CG, plasticine balls.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I'm looking at the plastic symbols. Red, white, and green, just like the Italian flag. Okay.
Wow.
Does that offend you?
I don't know if that was CG. That looks kind of like a matte painting, or not. Whatever they call it. What's the word?
An optical.
Optical. Thank you.
You're welcome.
E.T. gonna twiddle his ear.
It's the way that the finger is sort of bulbous at the end. I would have done another pass at that.
I would have given it a fingernail, a big long Coke fingernail.
Just started poking him in the ear.
No, what is that meme? I'd give him the acrylic fingernails. You'd see the Peter Griffin where he's doing the hands with the big long. Oh, forget it. This is one of the things where I'd have to show you an image to get it.
See there where Elliot, I love the language, the visual language as well in this film. When Elliot goes up to that gate, he goes out to his perimeter gate up the back and there's a red light on it. And it's like, well, how many of these things would have a red light? But it's good because it's just like, oh, that's the edge of the territory. That's like, the danger is beyond here. It's just good.
E.T. moaning.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the original shot as well. I don't think that's when he made the flower come back to life. I think
there's been too much of the CG.
We're going to get to the awkward scene soon. Hold on a second, Kevin.
What?
There's a scene. This is a mix because there should have been a scene where he's. Do you know when Elliot's mitching off school, right?
Mitching.
In the extended edition, that is really long. Like E.T.'s in the bathtub and all that sort of stuff, and anyway, it's really long, but it's not in this cut. It's not here, so
I don't know. This is a Blu-ray, so let's.
I think this is a halfway. I think this is a halfway house cut. I think this is a halfway house cut. It's definitely that scene's in the special edition from 20 years ago because I have it on DVD.
There we go. There's
there she is.
Erica Leniak.
And did you see the kid with the headphone radio?
Yes.
That's the reason I wanted to live in America. Oh my God.
And you see that school bus? That's why I wanted to live in America.
She shouldn't have to walk to school.
No, just anarchy. Just everybody just throwing paper at each other. Amazing. So much fun.
Yeah. The reason... So they've definitely cut that scene, and I'm so glad they have, because that scene, there was a scene basically where Elliot, it's an elongate, the scene of them just having their day off school. We basically get the same information repeated to us over and over again, and it doesn't move things forward at all, and the whole film just grinds to a halt, and it's kind of irritating. And I'm so glad they cut it.
Well, let's see, because none of us know for sure what we're watching.
Mm-hmm. No, we're seeing the school teacher.
So that's not Harrison Ford.
That's not. A lot of people. Thought it was
Harrison Ford's arse.
No. It's not. I used to think it was Harrison Ford for the longest time, but it's actually not. But you can look on YouTube the scene where, I think actually Harrison, after Elliot gets sent to the principal's office after he lets all the frogs out and kisses the girl. There's that scene is in the principal's office, and the principal's turning around. Elliot's still just pissed, and Harrison Ford turns away, and Elliot levitates out. His chair levitates, and he levitates up into the air and comes back down again. And Harrison Ford turns back and never sees it.
Okay.
So they cut that. Seeding the idea that E.T. can make things float, but.
And as I said originally, the aliens were killer aliens. They were coming and killing animals, and they touched them with their long, glowy finger and killed them. That is some rewrite.
It's some rewrite. Yeah. They obviously didn't change the design. They were just like, what about these killer aliens props that we have? Just give them bigger eyes.
It's a nice alien, but still be really fucked up looking. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely really fucked up looking alien. I read like an article on it, but they say how the whole film is shot from sort of kids' height.
Yeah. Which is why the keys are so to represent people in authority.
He glistens. He's like he's wet. Dry him up. Looks like a knee.
Like, yeah, as a pet, I don't think I want to snuggle with E.T.
I wonder what he tastes like.
Oh, just lick it. Well, he tastes like some beef or ham.
Beefy E.T.
He looks like when I feed my cat, like this sort of jellied meat pouches.
Oh, yeah. He was so him.
E.T. or Elliot getting hammered. When was the first time you got drunk, lads?
Go on, Joe.
Oh, I don't know. Sort of 12 or 13. On sort of
Jesus.
I know you're going to tell a story about getting drunk at 5 or something.
No, I'm not. I'm not a delinquent.
I was drinking like WKD. Oh no, it was Red Square or something like that. It was one of those alcohol pops. And me and some friends, my parents lived opposite a park, so we took like probably not even that many. Probably had like 2 alcohol pops each. But yeah, I remember feeling
top of the world.
Very strange.
All it takes is one, and the seconds then to kind of give you that giddy feeling.
You got that taste for it.
I was kind of late because I was actually going to discos and nightclubs, and I think I was 15 when I had my first
That's not
drink.
late. That's probably in the same time as me.
Yeah, I remember just being. I was in the nightclub. I gotten past the bouncers, and I was in the nightclub, and I went up to the bar. You were in a nightclub
at 15. We used to go to kids' nightclubs at that stage.
Yeah,
and nappy nights.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. And it was a lot like it was the country nightclub where you could get into.
Yeah.
And I remember just going up to the bar, and the bar
basically took place in like a stable.
Yeah, I know it was. Look, it was a big nightclub, but they said, "What do you want?" And I just looked at all these bar tops, all the taps ahead of me. I just
whiskey,
Carling Black Label, not having a clue. It was the one closest to me, Carling Black Label, and it was rotten.
Bunch of bitter, please.
Yeah,
Christ.
It's funny to me how drink has different connotations in the UK to Ireland, because my dad drinks Carling, and I got into a habit of having Carling whenever I'd meet him for a pint. And then I went back to Cork for a funeral, and a cousin was like, "Well, you have?" And I said, I don't know, I'll have a Carling. And they're like, "Carling? Jesus Christ, we can't order a Carling. Will you have a Heineken or something?" Because Carling is like, well, a Carling is like a a really, it just doesn't have the same reputation in Ireland. So yeah,
I got to say, it doesn't have a great reputation in England. Not to besmirch
I'll
your
tell
dad,
my dad.
but Carling is not a great lager.
15-year-old me would agree and say, Carling, Jesus Christ, it's rank. Oh my God.
I only drink Guinness now because I feel like I don't get any hangovers from Guinness, and I feel I can pace myself, and it's sort of like it's just a solid
I think
drink.
this is such a good segue into looking at E.T. having a hangover as you talk about having a hangover, and he is. I always love this gag of the kid. There's an ad on TV of advertising a telephone company, and there's this family calling their uncle like long distance, and the kid basically say hello to Frank. He says hello, and he just hangs up straight away. This is it. Hello, Uncle Ralph. Clunk. Anyway,
It's great. Oh, there's a pumpkin. Oh, that's right, because this takes place around Halloween. Which is perfect for when we're recording
January.
this.
Hey guys, do you remember Halloween?
So long. What did you dress up as, Joe, for Halloween?
A slutty what? A slutty vicar? I dressed up as a slutty Elliot.
I was a slutty frog in a jar.
Oh, God. What's the worst hangover you've ever had?
Any of them after I hit 30. Any of them after I had kids. Hangover with kids.
Joe, that's the reason I don't drink anymore. My hangovers in children. I haven't drank in 5 years.
Have you not?
Hangovers in children just don't. God. They don't compute. They just don't go together. And me particularly. I've had.
Sorry.
No, hangovers and me have never been. I've never had a good reaction to hangovers. But yes.
Oh, I tried for a while to sort of carry on. Like I had a few sort of big like rages, like big all-nighters and stuff. And then like,
oh no,
I remember coming
Jesus.
back. Oh,
I've been dead for a week.
I remember getting one of the first tubes. No, I remember getting a taxi back from a party I'd been at all night, and the sun was coming up over. Like I went over the Thames. Where was I going?
Oh God, you're bringing back.
I was going back to Brixton for something, and then I had to go. And then I got a taxi from Brixton to Victoria. I got the train back to Brighton. It was about 9 a.m. Got back about to hadn't been to sleep. Mrs. like just gave me the kids. They were like, take these kids, and I was just there, like not being to bed, like just sort of sweating. I just looked at myself in the mirror and was like, you can't do this. You have to stop. Isn't that a quiet man? He's watching. Man. Yeah, I assume the kiss from that. God, you just reminded me. I went to the London Film Festival. I met up with a couple of friends. This is only a few years back, and afterwards, the consensus was that beer must have been gone off because a few of us got blackout drunk and only had about like 8 or 9 drinks, but I lost about an hour after leaving the bar and heading towards Charing Cross, and I can't remember what tube it was. I was actually to get to Charing Cross, but I remember going up the escalator and basically falling down the escalator, and I couldn't pick myself up. I couldn't get right myself, and the escalator was going upwards. And I remember some girl shouting, "Help him!" God! And then I remember standing outside Charing Cross, and Charing Cross was closed. God. And I was like, "Wait a second! I just left wherever it was at midnight, and it's now like 2:30 in the morning. Charing Cross is gone. I've got to get like about 10 different buses to get home." It was, oh my God. I just thought like this is how people get home. They fall into canals and they're like this. And I was like, what the fuck happened to me? But that was like one bad one. I've had many
lads, that's what's happened to me. That like basically that an accumulation of experiences like that across my life of just having really, really bad experiences after consuming a lot of drink. The consuming of the drink might have been great crack. Like, oh geez, we had a great time. But it's after that is have created some of the worst experiences of my life. Embarrassing experiences.
I also then get like incredibly like open with the world and start trying to set the world to rights with my phone.
Oh no!
And I just feel like I wake up at like 6 a.m. and think, "Oh Christ, quick, delete."
What have I done?
Oh God. Yeah, this is not that original special edition, because I do not see that same like ugly CG ET at all.
So what is this? Is it amalgamation?
Maybe this is the actual.
But it looked at the beginning like it was.
Definitely, they kept that the interior of the alien ship. That was an addition to special edition, but the rest of it has kind of been returned to its original cut.
We'll know if the walkie-talkies have been put in.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this film is 40 years old.
Oh, fuck off.
82, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because it's January right now. So it's
it's 2022 right now. Wow.
What did you guys do for New Year's, by the way? I didn't ask. Sorry.
Oh, same thing I do every year.
Fell down an escalator at Charing Cross. Oh God, I hate New Year's. So I probably really had an early night and just decided to. Well, no, I probably watched that Hogmanay shit, which also they record in like October.
I hate it when people do that, when they record something earlier than
But you know what I probably did for my New Year's is I probably started a new New Year's tradition, which was is still by Natasha Waugh. Natasha came on and did a audio commentary for When Harry Met Sally, and she said she watches it every year on New Year's Eve, and I totally understand why. It's
great film.
Brilliant New Year's movie.
It's sad when you watch it now because their two friends are both dead.
I said the exact same thing.
That came up in the
Sorry.
There's a running theme of me telling people who's dead in the film, and it just always bums people out for about a minute. I'm like, oh, his child just died recently. And
so far in E.T., is anyone dead?
No,
I don't think so.
Everyone's still alive. Unfortunately,
it's not great.
E.T.'s still with us. It is good, yeah.
Hang on, let me think. There's got to be somebody now.
Is Peter Coyote still with us?
No, he's dead.
Rest
in peace.
There we go.
I watch like the Harry Potter movies with my kids, and it's amazing how many of them are dead. It's a
really,
yeah, man. It's like the guy that played
Richard Harris.
Richard Harris is dead. Alan Rickman, the guy that played Dursley, Vernon Dursley. That's only 3 people, but there is more.
One of the students is dead. One of the kids.
There was one of them was murdered.
I started at the weekends, watched half of a new Netflix movie, World War II film, The Forgotten Battle. Is that it? I'm not sure. It's about Operation Market Garden. But in it, there's a British fighter squadron, and one of the old grizzled captains in it is Draco Malfoy. Young Draco Malfoy is like playing this kind of like war-weary, wrinkly. And I went, oh my God. And I just realized how old I was. Because like in my head, he's still, squeaky Draco Malfoy.
Some of those Harry Potter kids are in their 30s now.
Yeah, not good actors, a lot of them. So it's still going. I respect that.
I respect the hustle.
I respect the craft.
I was trying to think who E.T. and Drag reminded me of.
This actually is a story about E.T. discovering his inner, his coming out story. He's now performing and
finger me. What are they doing? I've forgotten what the point of. Oh, they're trying to build a telephone for him, or
he's been putting together pieces of machinery. ET Phone Home has been the kind of the
ET
driving.
wants to get on the CB radio. Breaker.
It's actually it's interesting, isn't it? Like do you reckon they was like how do we sell the idea that he's trying to phone people, and like how does he get that idea? So he just watches it on the telly, and that's his. And that's
It's not.
the
No,
scene that I
it's
think.
also when he was drinking. After he was drinking, he picked up a newspaper, and there was a little comic book strip on there of a spaceman abandoned on Mars or on the moon, whatever.
But-
and he makes a radio and calls home. It's literally help, and then he starts pulling the pieces.
But here's
together.
the thing, lads. Thematically, E.T. and Elliot want the same thing. They want to find home.
And a four-sided table.
Beautiful.
Does Elliot want to find home? But he wants to find his father.
He doesn't feel at home in
He
this
wants
moment.
his family. They both want their family.
Elliot's missing. Elliot wants his dad. That's what
Yeah.
Elliot wants. He wants his family unit renewed, and temporarily, E.T. is kind of filling that space for him. There's a void in Elliot's life, and when E.T. comes in with that fourth corner of the table,
E.T.
for
is
this
his
time
dad.
period.
E.T. comes
E.T. 's
in. E.T.'s like a stepdad, and he just has this.
He's a cool stepdad.
His stepdad hiding in the cupboard.
It's just-
this drag queen alien that he can look up to, and that's all he needs. You're doing all right, son.
He's sleeping in with Elliot's mother, and
Yes.
they go out on date night. And
Peering in.
You're listening to your mother now, kid.
Yes.
and like the worst thing without E.T., he's actually a drunk stepdad.
Yeah, he
like
is.
he's like
And just remember, this is
drinking.
all based on Spielberg processing his parents' divorce. So E.T. is like the woman or the man that his mother had an affair with.
Yeah, touching him in a cupboard, as you can see right now.
Yeah.
oh god.
Look, I know I'm never going to be your dad, but I just want you to know. I think we could really get on.
Coochie coochie coo.
And he's reading Peter Pan, which is obviously thematically resonant for something. Spielberg, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, that's my favorite Spielberg movie.
Oh my god. We're gonna come to fisticuffs. That's my least favorite.
It's not good. There's that one really amazing scene where they come back and the kids have been kidnapped, and there's the hook, like the slash in the walls up the stairs, and they follow the one when the parents come back, and like
Yeah.
everyone's screaming like the maid.
Because that's where it
screaming.
feels like it's an actual movie, but all the stuff with Never Neverland feels like a gaudy set or soundstage. It just feels really
Yeah.
like a theme park. And
What, you wanted a gritty, realistic Neverland, did you? Was that what you
I don't think they've ever done a real good Peter Pan, actually, when I think about it now.
Is there one coming out? There's another one coming out.
Probably.
Well, like I know they're going to keep making it, but I have a feeling
I'll be there
there's.
day one. I gotta see a new Peter Pan. Love it.
There was the guy that did Beast of the Southern Wild. Oh, there's that thing. There's the guy that did Beast of the Southern Wild. He did one recently.
Joe Wright.
Whimsical twee sort of storytelling.
Joe Wright
Yeah.
did one. That
Joe
didn't,
Wright did one.
They've done a few of them.
Yeah.
They're no E.T., I'll tell you that. This is my Peter Pan.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, it's a lovely film. It really is.
The Disney cartoon's about the only good. Although actually, I've watched that with my kids recently, and it's very racist.
Oh, really?
And that's why you enjoy it, is it?
And that's what the bit I just showed that bit to my kid. There's a bit where an Irishman just yells at a bunch of Italians.
It just really speaks to me.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to dress up for Halloween in 2022 coming up,
Yeah.
what would you go as?
Squid
Did
Game,
we already
mate.
talk about this? I think
Game.
we already... Slutty Vicar.
For Slutty Vicar. I usually go as a bat because you can do a fit where I usually do like this. You can tie two bin bags, one to each arm,
Excellent.
and just wear a black t-shirt. And so you've transformed yourself into a bat.
I went as the kid from Halloween 3 that gets devoured by the pumpkin mask and all the little bugs are coming out of him. Because I had like a zip-up grey hoodie and I had the same sort of like undershirt. And I just got the mask and I just stuck a lot of plastic cockroaches to it. And it was like sorted. Cool costume.
I went as that moment in The Thing where the thing clamps down on another guy. The thingamajig clamps down on another guy's head, just Windows head, and he's flailing. So I've got like a mannequin attached to my forehead. I went as a thing eating another thing. And I'm just flailing around with windows attached to my head. So that's
great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't take. I just threw it together in half an hour. It was amazing.
Simply.
For this year, I'm gonna go buck naked, and I'm gonna be Kyle Reese from Terminator.
going around with one of those inflatable balls. Just kind of like put some sort of electrical, fancy lights running through it.
Chasing down tramps, trying to take their trousers off them. Happy Halloween. What year is it? Oh, it's lovely Californian sun.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
It is.
It is beautiful.
You don't get that in Ireland.
I wonder where this is shot, where this was shot, and what that place is like now. This community.
It's filmed in Cork, I think, wasn't it?
It's Cork, yeah. Oh, yeah. This was the sunsets of my childhood, right here.
Yeah. This looks like Mayfield.
I bet this place looks exactly the same.
I'd say so.
Nicer cars.
I don't know about
newer cars.
We've got a cameo of Yoda coming up here as well.
Yeah.
Yoda.
He's not a real person, Will.
It's Richard Dreyfuss.
I don't know about G, but trick or treating really wasn't a thing for us growing up. It was something that we learned. Well, I learned it through films, and I don't know about you, Joe. Was it something?
No, I've never been. I've never been trick or treating. I've taken my kids because it's quite big around where I am now. But it's Halloween in general. I think it has really started to catch on over the last 5 or so years here. I think, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It wasn't a thing in England when I was a kid. There, then I went to Ireland, and it was like, oh, we're what? We're bobbing for apples. We're wearing plastic masks. We're going out and like egging the neighbours, and yeah.
What about Halloween? But we always used to do like apple bobbing, like toffee apples and all that sort of thing. And but yeah, trick or treating, like there was a little bit, but it's become much more prevalent.
It's an Irish invention. It's one of the things that we've given to the world is Halloween.
Really?
Oh God! I just watched a TikTok with oh God, what's his name? Sunderman. He's very, very funny, and he was like doing a riff on Irish people in America, which is like Halloween. That's an Irish thing. That's one of our things, Halloween. Yeah, no, seriously, it's from Ireland. Halloween. Yeah, you've not heard of it? Yeah, it's just like riffing on the fact that every Irish person loves to tell everybody that Halloween is from Ireland.
Thanks, Kevin.
And it's in the episode that's coming out.
Go on. I know, because I've just found the fact. That's all. Go on, keep going.
No.
Oh no!
He's on the bike. He's on the bike.
This is the scene.
Actually, wait, that's a Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Just a T-Rex comes up. Pterodactyl gets in.
Oh,
how does the ET music go?
Da 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 da.
Stop it! Oh, it's da 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 da.
That's an actual thing that they say. Yeah, it used to be an old college game that we played, which is like, okay, hum the theme to Superman. And
yes, and then you couldn't
hum the theme to Star Wars, hum the theme to Indiana Jones, and no one could do the three of them back to back.
Yeah, happened to me in a quiz. Yeah,
that was a quiz question.
In a table quiz in college, someone said, "Oh, first person up here, and first person up to the mic
I
to
would have smashed it."
The theme to Superman, that was basically it. And I went up and I just went. I just did. Indiana Jones.
Okay. Indiana Jones. Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do Star Wars instead.
Oh, you can do Superman. That's not Star Wars. That's the Imperial March.
It's part of fucking Star Wars.
Give me the Star Wars theme.
Star Wars theme is Fuck off.
Can't do it. Ellie's making his thing. Oh, remember I was saying about a Peter Pan film? That's why I cut across you there. I knew there was a new Peter Pan film coming out. It's called Peter Pan and Wendy. But what's exciting is that it's been directed by David Lowery, who did The Green Knight.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds interesting.
I'll see you there opening day, Kevin. I'll keep you a seat.
I always feel really sorry for the mum in this bit. But she's lost, she's going through a divorce, trying to keep these kids in check and everything, just trying to have a nice evening. It meant so much to her to see them going out in their costumes and stuff. And now
I don't even think she's gone through divorce. I think the dad has just skipped town with his mistress.
Just fucked off. He's just yeah.
She is really just trying her best to hold it together. She really is.
Yeah. I mean, she looks fantastic. I remember that. I think that was I watched this as a teenager.
So much smoke machine use used in this.
Well, yeah.
You watched as a teenager?
I watched as a teenager, and I was quite taken with the mum. I was.
E.T.'s mum is a MILF.
Same. Joe, the same. I had the same reaction. I was like, yeah, she seems lovely. Yeah.
E.T.'s mum can
cool,
get it.
It's the suits
Lads,
coming up to the house. It's
if you
class.
watch E.T., the mum in it. Oh my god.
Fit mum. Have you seen E.T.'s fit mum?
She's a riot.
Fit E.T.'s mum at Halloween.
Proper dirt.
That's actually what I'm dressing up as a Halloween, as E.T.'s mum. Looking in the leopard print.
Easy costume.
I hope so.
And then you're just going to have that really awkward moment where someone approaches you in a house party. You go, so E.T.'s mum, eh? Are you taken?
Yes, my husband just ran off to Mexico, actually.
Have you ever seen Cujo with E.T.'s mum in it?
No, I've never seen that. It's
very good. Yeah. Well, it's half good. She's brilliant in it. But if you want to see a real performance from her where she's playing a mother that is coming apart, it's that one where she's trapped in a car with her son who's very high strung and they're being harassed by a massive dog and they can't get out and they're baking inside in the car.
Oh, wow.
It's really good, but there's half of it is sort of melodrama, which is not so good. And she's also the mom in Critters.
Oh, I was wondering if it was The Howling or was it Critters. Yeah, okay. She's a great actress. She's in The Howling. She is in The Howling.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, yeah. She's still alive. Please say she's still alive.
Yes, she is.
Thank God.
No, she's not.
As of 20.
She's
still alive. She is still alive.
No, I'm just giving two options so I can cut it in after.
No, she is still alive. I'm just looking at her Wikipedia.
Whenever we do Podbot, it's always like that. Well, you've been on the episode, Joe. Yeah. It's like we will try to preempt what Podbot's going to say. So it'll be like, Podbot, who's right? And both of us will be like, oh yeah, thanks, Podbot. Just so we can.
But I heard Podbot when we were speaking. What do you mean?
That's Will throwing his voice.
Nah.
How are you, Kevin?
Shag off.
How's this fucking phone supposed to work then? They haven't really shown us anything. They've just shown us.
It's like a walkie-talkie.
It's just like he's got there's a sharp bit and there's a little plastic toy and
an umbrella.
A little umbrella. I'm just like, I know the note you would get these days would be like, well, I just like, how does the phone work? And should we understand a bit more about E.T.'s plan and like why it doesn't work? Why doesn't it work this time? And all, fucking nice.
Oh man, that's
the only exactly notes I like come in 50s.
Nah. Whenever
that's a very big hand. Yeah.
Wow. Look at his face. Wow.
But you see, we're watching this without the music. The music is so vital. Like,
what's that guy in scary movies got sort of the deformed hand and it's like, are you a rat child? Are you okay? I don't know if people realize, but there's the episode with Pierce where you said that you cameoed in your film as a theme park or as a
arcade guy. Yeah.
I took arcade music and I took the scene from Scary Movie.
Yeah.
And I just dropped it in as if it was you.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
It's like, God is in his holy temple.
But
And my
then,
mate Dean Lyons,
you thought it was me.
he thought it was you. He's like,
Oh,
fucking
Jesus.
hell.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Love
oh,
it.
God. Yeah. That just reminds me, I'm going to have to play, and with my one remaining episode, I'm going to have to prank you in that episode and put something in that's
What's the
damning.
remaining episode?
I'm still editing Whodunits.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's out. I finished editing it.
Yeah.
I'm just editing the special edition. We're going to release for the DVD box set. It's the one I'm more like. I do, as a parent, no, I do sympathize with Dee Wallace's character. Like, you know,
here
she
we go.
is fucking so. Like, if a child lost, and now she's learning, there's an alien in inverted commas living in her house the whole fucking time. If you told this film from the point of view of Dee Wallace's
Look at her son.
character, it's a pure horror film. It really is.
Yeah.
Where were you? I was in the woods with that little man. Oh my
And
God.
now, and this is the first act. This is like the first act of that film, and it's like,
Yeah.
where's
He's
this little
been in-
fucking man? I'm going to kill him. You
He's
know?
been in the cupboard, Mum. He's been in the cupboard the whole time.
There you go.
He's bald. He's got a big finger.
Drinks makes me feel good.
Yeah, we got drunk together.
He dresses up as an old lady.
Dresses up as an old lady. Made me kiss a girl in class.
He made me fly high, Mom. High. We got so high together, you wouldn't believe it. In the woods. In the fucking woods. and we're out there waiting for his friends to come along.
We've all been there.
Oh, boy.
This is such a cool sequence.
It really is. So I think I read a little snippet of the Wikipedia thing. The whole bike chase, maybe I'm wrong, was something that was one of the early ideas that stayed from the John Sayles draft, when it was a different the horror script. But it's so cool. I think it's shot so
reminds
well.
me of Stranger Things.
This film is ripping off Stranger Things, actually, in many ways.
It really is. It's like, ugh, get your own ideas, guys.
It's like this is a really unoriginal copy of... it's like it's playing on nostalgia.
Look, I know this came first, but it just doesn't play anymore, so, you know.
This is a particularly horrible view of E.T. coming up in a minute, where he looks like a white dog turd.
I was just about to say it.
Awful.
You don't really see white dog turds anymore.
You don't see them anymore.
Oh. It's awful.
Oh, he's like
it
he's
is.
been skinned.
This looks like Mayor of Easttown.
It does look.
And raccoons are at him. Raccoons are at him.
They're
Oh, I
chewing
never
at him.
saw that before.
That's a CGI raccoon. He just looks like he's made out of shrimp paste or something. You just want to.
Oh, poor E.T.
But it has the effect, and the effect was, you really did feel worried for him. You did really feel like it was like, oh, he is fucking dying.
Yeah, he
Because
does.
this was the 80s where they didn't give a fuck what way a film played for a kid. Like, yeah, traumatized little bastards.
Yeah, they'll kill him off. Yeah, E.T.'s dead. The rest of the film's just a funeral.
That's life, kids.
That's fucking life. Sometimes your best friend dies.
Get a job.
Gets eaten by a raccoon. The scariest scene, I think, is coming up, which is when they come into the house. Oh no, this is when all the fucking government men are just like,
Yeah, where he feels really invasive.
My God.
Talcum powder E.T.
talcum. Oh, it's like me after a party in the 80s. That's me at New Year's.
It was worth it.
Oh, had a few too many carlings. Fell down at Charing Cross. Help him.
Delete my pictures.
I did a tweet thread at 4 a.m. about the industry.
Oh, shut up. That sounds pointed now.
Oh, lads, you see, you're having a laugh there, and I'm just getting caught up in E.T.'s peril.
No.
I'm here. I'm with Dee Wallace all the way in this. I'm like going, Jesus, get the kids out.
Oh, yeah,
Christ,
100%. You take them out. Straight to the kitchen, grab a knife, and go back to finish it.
I'm with
Yeah, finish him off.
Cut his throat.
E.T.
Yeah.
I'm with Spielberg.
See, this is... Oh, it's so funny they're in actual spacesuits. Probably like NASA on the side and everything.
Hey, for one Halloween, we went as astronauts, but we made our own costumes.
That was your
amazing.
avatar for a long time.
Yeah, for years. Yeah, I'd actually nearly would go back. We made them from scratch, all of them. We made 5 of them, and we're an astronaut team, and it was the best. We spent about 2 weeks making them, and
That'd be so hot though to be stuck in that all night.
it was class. It was class. Loved it.
Couldn't drink anything.
Oh, we could drink. Yeah, we created little drink hatches for ourselves.
Here you are. It's the lads. Sambuca.
Daft Punk.
I was about to say that as well. Fucky. We need to script these things. You're treading on my line. Pressurized breathing. Does this film hold up?
It does.
It really holds up, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it?
Hello. I'm going to say these spacesuits are a little silly. I remember them not being the fact that they've got them in actual NASA spacesuits. I think they would be in.
No.
But,
Are you saying this film doesn't hold up, Kevin? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. This film is
right.
perfect.
Yeah. I know they're bringing in a play tent.
soft play. It's a
Soft play.
No, it's
for break time.
It's it's Is it Zorbing? Oh, shit, what's it called?
Yeah, Zorbing.
Zorbing, yeah.
This is a very Jurassic Park little.
Isn't it?
It's like the Velociraptor bit at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh God, imagine.
Spielberg loves a guy with a welding in the background. A background welder. That's.
Who doesn't want a background welder? In all my Zoom meetings, I try and get a background welder going on.
I always love police cars with the sirens going, the little red and blue lights going.
Yeah.
And the sounds they make in every film, like, just by the tone of the siren that the scene is okay. Like, yeah.
Nee-naw.
Yeah, safety.
When everything's fine. When woo woo, it's like, it's okay. It's all okay. But then, yeah. Sorry, I'm seeing these lads going through this tunnel, and I'm just imagining the lads on the outside. If it was my son, would just be punching him. They would just be shoving him and just trying to make him fall over.
Fuck off, guys.
I have to go in and look at the alien, for fuck's sake.
My keys are jangling. Coyote, R.I.P.
Oh no.
They're sort of grooming Drew Barrymore, sort of taking lice out of her hair.
Yeah, prodding and just poking.
Psychiatrist, did I ever build anything or write anything down? No.
You're a liar, Mike.
He communicates through Elliot.
It's crazy that we haven't had a sequel. I mean, I'm really glad we didn't. But in this era where, oh God, actually, if Spielberg dies, well, he's going to at some stage, they're just going to fucking raid his back catalogue.
They will.
It's going to be like,
yeah,
we're bringing in David Lowery to do Jaws again. We're bringing in Edgar Wright to do E.T. It'll just be...
Oh my God, they might make a 4th Indiana Jones film. That'd be terrible.
The pictures of the 5th one are really bizarre. I don't know what that story is.
I haven't seen
like a time travel thing or something I read the other day.
Yep, looks like you.
Oh my God.
They have all guys in like Roman costumes, like in a rowboat.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, what?
Maybe he's just going to a stag do.
It could be.
Maybe
he's on a film set.
Rugby
Maybe he's on a
lads.
film set.
He's exactly right.
Oh, it could be actually. That's quite true. So Kieran Foy in the episode on child stars and kid protagonists, he mentioned the sequence that comes after this where E.T. dies, and I thought it was a really fascinating way of pointing out how brilliant Henry Thomas is in his performance, where all in one take he's playing all these different levels, all these different emotions. He was a spectacular little child actor.
He's still going, right, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
He does a lot with Mike Flanagan, though.
I was going to say Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan, famously a big fan of The Ritual. Just throwing that in there.
Really?
He tweeted that he liked it.
Big fan. I liked it.
Listen, I'll take what I can get.
That is good. Great monster in that.
A great monster. I designed that myself, actually.
I think it was the same team that did the Monsters and Grabbers, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the same visual effects team, I believe.
Oh.
But I don't know who did the concept art or how much came from the book.
Yeah, there's a guy called Keith Edwards or Keith. I can't remember. I've met him. Yeah, Keith. Keith something. You know, Keith.
Oh my God, you're so busy. I don't know how you keep in your head who you've met and what you've worked on. It's easy for me. I just have to remember Grabbers.
Lads, we've been saying R.I.P. Peter Coyote this whole time.
No,
and he's still alive.
That son of a bitch.
He's 80. He's 80.
He was alive as of October 2021. Why did we think he was dead? He was.
He might be like.
It was Will. Will said R.I.P. and I just went along with it.
Oh God!
Coyote.
I got him mixed up with someone else.
Will, it was me. I said it.
Did you?
Yes.
But in my head, I went along. But I was convinced of it too. I was like, "Oh yeah, he died.
Yeah, he's dead.
The last few years."
I mean, it's a great name. Is that his real name, do you reckon, or is he?
No, his real name is Dave.
Dave Raccoon.
Hey, well, I'll tell you. You know, he was born Robert Peter Cohan. That's his actual name. Yeah,
Cohan.
Okay. Love it.
It's not Cahan.
Just Cohan. No, Colon. That's what it is. No, it's
Colon.
Colon.
Yeah, Colon.
R.I.P.
I don't know why he changed it.
He didn't want to be known as an arsehole.
Is this his good acting bit? This.
No, it's when E.T. is dead and he's in the little cryo chamber thing or the coffin thing.
Okay.
The casket.
I'll be right here. That's a callback later.
Stay.
Hey. Go.
No.
Come. Whatever he says.
I do think that this was because I watched this. They released this film on video, and that's kind of the first time I saw it. They released it like quite late. Like they released it maybe well over 10 years later on video. And,
so you had to what? Remember you were talking about a film that was out in 1980. Oh, I can't remember now. Never mind. But the E.T. was still playing in the cinema.
Oh, I think when I as a very young child I saw it in the cinema when it first came out.
So it was releasing it.
So yeah, on VHS like a decade later.
Crazy.
Or less than a decade later. That's when I actually first saw it. And when it came to the end of the film, I remember just being in floods of tears, and it was the first time I ever cried at a film. And I remember just going, "Whoa, what is that?" Like, you know, "Oh, should I be crying at a film?" Like, you know, what the hell? But wow. Yeah,
I have no memory of the first time I've seen this or saw this. I don't know when I first saw it, but it always gets me every time I do. Always get choked up at the end because it's so beautifully earnest and
not tonight, Kevin, thanks to us. You might never get choked up with this again.
Not if you go, you cry.
We've reframed all of the characters, and particularly E.T., to be a little bit more sinister and pedophile.
I don't remember any of this bit. I don't remember.
Visual storytelling.
That's great.
That's very economic. That's great.
Isn't it? The economy of this bloody script is brilliant.
Yeah, it's really busy now.
Like, I wonder, no, this is just one of those things, like, you know, the way, when does that idea, how, you know, the way we're talking about how economic it is. I wonder when those ideas came in? Like, was it in the script? Did they have that, like, like along the drafts? Oh, in actual fact, we can just use this and this plays in together. It obviously has to be before editing because they shot the thing.
I think once you get into that zone of just being creatively inspired by something, then it's just ideas are just coming at you from all angles. And Spielberg is one of those people that he will just take a good idea from someone else and he'll give them credit for it. He doesn't have any sort of he's very free with acknowledging that somebody else suggested we do this or what have you. But the man is just he's built to be a filmmaker.
Oh yeah,
it's all sort of, I reckon it probably sort of, you do different like washes over it, don't you? Like the key thing would have been to that, they probably would have been like, okay, it's a film about a boy and an alien and they become friends, and then at some point someone has the idea about that sort of the connection between them, and if it's actually like a physical connection, that whole idea that they're kind of, they can think they're, they can sort of control each other, or their health is sort of connected. And then I think you get the stuff like the flowers as like a visual metaphor, or all those other little details that probably come in. I don't know, I have no idea, but I would imagine
that's the way later on, as it's accumulation of just like, and then that could happen.
Yes, because that stuff usually comes from like, you've got a problem, right, in the script, like how do we show this happening? How do we, and then you're like, oh, what if some flowers came back? It's like, and then, oh shit, we could use it at that point, and we could use it there, and then that's generally think how these things happen with like just time and like
But look, he's not shying away from showing this. He's making this a major moment, and he's showing it for all of its horror. And you believe that this is the end of E.T.
You do, yeah. The way it's been so.
I just noticed that Elliot hugged his mom, which is the first time we've seen him do that in the whole movie.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so they've been kind of unified for the first time.
He's a hugely manipulative, emotionally manipulative filmmaker in like a good way. But I remember like watching him talk about Jaws, and he's like desire. He's like, I can get one more jump scare. He's like, I know I can fuck up the audience one more time. And then they filmed that Ben Gardner severed head in the swimming pool, and that was all about like a desire just to manipulate the audience into a scare. And I think Spielberg would have been like relishing the idea of making people cry and be like, well, how can I make them cry more and make this as sad as possible?
Do you ever cry when you're writing something?
No, I don't. Do you? Sometimes because it's
you heartless, soulless,
cynical
bastard.
So tired sometimes.
I don't know how you
cry
do
when
it.
I read the notes.
Oh, God. Well, I think I did say on the podcast in one of the episodes, I definitely have in different episodes but scenes where you come to a moment you go, oh shit, this is fucking heavy, and it hits me. But it's a good sign when I always go, if I'm having that reaction, something's working here. 80% of it might be crap, but I've tapped into something that's really working. And but you talk about Spielberg being kind of like a good manipulator of emotions, and I think the right word is he's a good he's a good manipulator. You can do this so poorly. You could really make it really
Mac and me.
Yeah, or like Marley and me, going that way as well. Where it's just like, no, you've just overwritten this and you've overshot this and you've overplayed this. I think he's going for the brutality, as you were saying, Kevin. In this scene, there's a kind of it's horrific, all of the medical devices attached to him and the pumping of it's brutal. It's not fluffy and soft.
Everyone's sad that E.T.'s dying.
Yeah. It's harsh, I think. In a good way.
But he knows that E.T.'s going to come back from this, so he's like, I've got to hurt them in order to heal them.
Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first saw this, because I only got this far when I was old enough to remember, and I remember the sense of elation when that light starts glowing inside the airtight tube they have him in, or coffin they have him in.
Later period Spielberg, so from the 2000s onwards, what do you reckon? Is he still the master? Is he still the guy where you have to see a new Spielberg film? Like you anticipate it? Like,
I think so. There's a podcast called 21st Century Spielberg with this Chris Evangelista, this film critic for Slash Film. He does it. It's great, and he goes through the film by film. And I think there's a real argument that they're like he has like a sort of second peak, I suppose. Like you obviously there's the classic sort of there's Jaws and there's Raiders and there's E.T. and that sort of period of like 70s, 80s. But then he goes on another run, starting kind of like, I guess, AI, but there's the sort of Catch Me If You Can, Minority Report, Munich.
That's a good run. Those four are quite good.
War of the Worlds. The Terminal is great. War of the Worlds is brilliant. There's the Bridge of Spies, I think, is really good.
I enjoyed that. But it doesn't feel like a Spielberg movie. It just feels like that to me feels like a Ron Howard movie.
Well, I think it feels like he's evolved as a filmmaker, which I respect. No, he's not just doing the same thing, and they all look very. I mean, I don't love
West Side Story looks pretty lush.
Yeah, it does. It does look quite. Yeah, the trailer was pretty cool. But it's that sort of Janusz Kaminski of it all. Like they're very sort of.
I wish he would.
Lincoln.
I wish he would shoot with somebody else. To be honest,
I kind of do too. Yeah,
I'm sort of a bit over this washed out, bluey, steely look.
Yeah,
we've had it for 20 years now, lads. Imagine 20 years. Yeah. 30 years. Sorry, almost 30 years.
Look at E.T. Look how warm and rich and the flesh tones are so. It just feels really inviting. There's a coldness to all the Janusz Kaminski movies.
Yeah, they are cold. That's true. Yeah, they really are. And it's sort of all about the light streaming through the window, and you can see the character's breath almost and stuff. And
But like we did get in that era, we did get Catch Me If You Can, which is fantastic. I must rewatch Munich because everyone adores Munich,
Munich is special, but Munich is flawed.
I have to go back and have a revisit of that one, and I think Lincoln is actually class. So there's a lot of really good films since in the 2000s. Yeah, a lot of really good films.
Saving Private Ryan was only 98.
There we go. This is the moment.
This is the moment. Yeah.
So watch the different gear changes of Henry Thomas here. Everybody be quiet. Just take it in.
Okay, Henry, and okay.
No, but it is a great performance for a child, because Kieran was saying, usually when you're directing a child, they'll come in having prepared for the scene, and they'll come in at the level of what the scene expects of them. So if they're sad, they're going to come in sad. If they're angry, they're going to come in angry, and they're going to play that note. But in this, he has to play multiple notes. He's got to go through a real broad spectrum of emotions and reactions and awareness and what have you. And it's a very mature performance for a child.
It's fantastic.
Can't do that zip out of his fucking. Do another take. Henry's fucked up the zip.
Have you heard of this? His next film, the Fabelmans.
Who's next?
It's like about
Spielberg's
his family, isn't it?
Spielberg's next film is called what?
If I'm pronouncing it right, the Fabelmans. So it's a semi-autobiographical coming-of-age drama film directed by Spielberg, and he co-wrote it with Tony Kushner.
Oh, okay. He's a great writer, Tony Kushner. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it Angels in America he did?
And did he not do Lincoln as well?
I believe he did.
He did, yeah. Yeah, he did Lincoln as well. So I was looking at all of Spielberg's filmography from 2000 into 2000s. AI, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, and The Terminal is a bit of a blip, right? But those three, AI, Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, are fantastic. Blip, Terminal. War of the Worlds is at least interesting, and it's still entertaining.
I think it's great.
Munich is still very good. Crystal Skull, of course, is a disappointment.
What's that?
Exactly. And then one I really liked, actually, that I think wasn't
BFG.
Tintin.
Tintin, it's great. Tintin's really good.
I've never really watched Tintin. I sort of.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And another one I liked that really got kind of like bashed was Warhorse. I really liked Warhorse.
No.
I liked
it. Got its moments.
No. That to me is just too sentimental and maudlin, and
but I think he's doing it on purpose. I think he's intentionally doing it.
I don't fucking care.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Bridge of Spies, BFG, The Post, Ready Player One, West Side Story, and now Fabelmans.
Oh, Ready Player One was a
That was bad.
It's a lot of CG, a lot of swooshy CG stuff. And he said it was his toughest film to shoot.
Really?
Yeah, he said he found it very, very challenging because he had to learn all of the CG stuff. It was a whole new kind of discipline for him.
It's a whole new world.
Mm-hmm. Hit it.
Oh, I love this video.
Oh, it's so brilliant.
Take it on the film.
And that music just kicks in and just lifts it all up.
Yeah. It's a great gag. This whole thing of the tube being pulled behind them. Yeah. It's so clever. Like, it's just how cool it is.
Kid with his flat cap. Yeah. Baseball cap, speakers. And that's and Balaclava dude. He's actually he had a pretty big career, that kid. The third one.
Really?
Yeah. If you've got IMDb there, I bet you'll be able to see.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to. I've done so much clicking now, looking at his career, but I will look.
I love writing these kind of scenes. Not that anyone would ever know.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate writing big action scenes. Absolutely detest it.
I love them.
Oh, they're a pain in the hole.
Yeah, I don't like them at all. Gunfights and action scenes.
Joe, if you want to take a step back and let somebody else have a go.
I never really
confirmed. Gotham is confirmed for being a detective show where everyone just walks into a room and says, it's him.
We're too sophisticated for action sequences.
It's just they're a chore. It's like a head. It's like, okay, this shot, and it's like, where is everyone? They're over here.
I guess you've either got a head for it, or you don't. It's just like,
yeah. Well, that's probably it.
You run out of adjectives, man. You run out of ways of describing guns going off, and you know that the director's going to fucking change it anyway. Like, whatever you write isn't going to be the fucking thing.
Exactly. That's the point. It's just a placeholder. It's just a placeholder. That's all it is.
That's great.
I remember being on set for Grabbers, and the first scene that I wrote that involved the sort of the conceit of the movie sort of really coming to the fore, and me realizing, oh, this is going to work, this is going to be so much fun, was when the female police officer is drunk and she's getting behind the wheel of the police jeep, and she's trying to get away, but she's so drunk that she reverses towards the monster and then into a tree, and it's all hell breaks loose. There's pandemonium within the car, and I was like, this is my favorite action sequence in the movie. And on set, and it got cut. And I remember the director and a couple of the producers like looking at me to see if I registered what was happening, and not having time to actually talk about it, and me just realizing that there was eyes on me to see how I was going to react, and just having to just bottle up this complete like disappointment of, oh, we've just lost one of the best moments that was going to be in the movie. And
so it got cut from being filmed.
Got cut from being filmed because they didn't have time to change the Jeep. It was a stationary Jeep and they needed to have one that could move. And so the scene became she couldn't start the car. And I was like, oh, good God, that is like... you would never write that in the script unless you're just giving up at that stage. You'd come up with something more inventive, and that became the solution. I was like, in the cinema when we were watching the film, and that moment's coming up, and the drunk guard gets behind the police wheel, and you feel the audience move forward, and then she turns the key, and the engine won't start, and you just feel all the audience just go like, ugh. Those are the moments that I love about working in the film business, just like dreams coming true.
Does that happen with animation, Will? Is there the equivalent of obviously not on the day, but
scenes getting shot, scenes getting cut?
Yeah.
And it does happen. It only happens when it happened to us on Song of the Sea where the budget just didn't have the budget to do like X scene, and that scene they just felt because what can we cut, and just we can cut that scene, and it's not until late in the day you go, oh, you've cut that scene, oh my God. But it happens, I think, in the equivalent of like say when the script goes into storyboard process and goes through massive changes, well, not massive changes, but things can get changed in the storyboard process that you mightn't be privy to until you actually see an animatic. You go, what did you do?
What the fuck is this?
what decision was that? And but you know, you've enough time. Again, it's not on the day. It's not a shock, and you can have a discussion. Whereas
Do you
first time live
prefer
action,
writing for animation or writing live action? Because you've done both.
I've done both. I enjoy the safety of animation because at least you have time to discuss all the decisions. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a shock, as you were just describing, a thing on the day, a variable on the day where we can't do the scene.
It's raining or whatever. Yeah.
So generally,
it's like a timed art. So
So I feel like I feel like it's doing something live action is a bit scarier. But I would love to. I want to do more live action stuff, and I have been writing more live action stuff because I'd like to get in that world again. But I enjoy the process of animation. You know, it's very collaborative and. But here's shotguns.
Yeah, shotgun.
Shotguns.
Oh, we are watching the original cut then.
Which is one extra scene. And
it's definitely just an extra scene.
Insane that he felt the need to. It changed it. It holds up so well. I don't know.
But it was when he had kids. He just felt softened, or he just.
I've got kids. I don't give.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't even cry when you write. You don't even have a heart.
No, you've seen my stuff. It's not that sad. The worst scene that I ever had.
I saw it, boy. I was in floods.
So were the critics. The worst scene I ever had cut out was the only scene that really, really bothered me was this in I wrote this film called My Days of Mercy, which no one's ever seen. But there was a bit. The concept was basically these two girls that meet each other outside of different death penalties, different prisons when someone's getting executed, and one of them's in a sort of anti-death penalty protester, and one of them's like sort of pro-death penalty group, and they keep bumping into each other. And there's one scene where the girl who's in the anti-death penalty group finds out that this guy that they were going to go and protest outside his execution, they find out that he's been let off at the last minute and has been given a stay of execution, isn't going to be put to death. And you see that she's really gutted because she actually just now wants to see this girl that she meets outside of these different things.
Yeah.
And I think that scene genuinely would have explained a lot about how the film wasn't really so much about the politics or blah blah. It was all about the emotion and their relationship and stuff. Anyway, that's the only one that's really bothered me out of all the deleted scenes I've had to do. I think that would have made the film a lot better.
Oh God.
And that was Elliot Page, and he was Ellen Page at the time, and now he changed his name to Elliot because I'm pretty sure this is true because I think he's a massive E.T. fan.
Are you serious?
Well, really?
So it's based on,
I don't want to get it wrong and be offensive, but I think that's right because I think he definitely has a
Chris Evangelista, write it up for Slash Film.
Yeah, right up. No, I think he has a tattoo. I think he has an ET phone home tattoo, and I think maybe that's why. But I don't know.
And we're pretty much where the alien ship has landed.
Thomas Howell. That's the name of the other kid.
Oh, okay, the one with the balaclava.
Yeah, who was also in The Outsiders.
I wanted to mention when we had the bike chase stuff around the neighborhood. I love it still. The energy of those shots, the camera tracking alongside them as the bikes go down those kind of dirt ramps. Fantastic.
It's great, and it's not it's all sort of quite slick camera moves. It's not shaky, and it's not edited particularly quickly. They're quite fluid.
They're fluid.
Long takes. They're great.
But there's just a beautiful kinetic energy in the shot itself.
Yeah, the geography is really clear.
Mm-hmm. And here we have I was in bits, 11, 12 years of age watching all this.
I was in bits 21, 22 watching this.
I showed this to my wife who'd never watched it, and I made the fatal error of showing her the special edition with the CGET and the longer scenes, and she don't the whole film. She thought Elliot was irritating. Don't
put her on blast like that. Get death threats.
But I genuinely think it was because the special edition. It really just killed the pace of the film. And
yeah.
I really think it screwed up the experience. This is
such a beautiful ending.
It is.
And I mentioned it on the episode with Kieran. It's got one of my favourite end shots to a movie. Final image. We'll see it here in a second, but this beautiful little final goodbye between E.T. and Elliot come. And this is the arc of Elliot. Stay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And E.T.
I don't care that you can see his heart.
is saying what the message he gives to him is that it hurts,
Ouch.
but I'm going to be with you. Yeah.
It's happening, lads.
That's great.
And they have a hug. It's so beautiful.
No, look at the veins in the neck.
Joe, don't rude. It is like it is like chorizo sausage.
Oh, it's like hugging a pepperoni.
E.T. is tumescent.
It's a mess.
No, translucent.
He just bites into Elliot's neck. Drags him into the ship.
Oh no.
He's tickling his little back. Coochie.
Come with me, angel sing.
Is this the scene Tim Burton was thinking of when he had the idea for Mars Attacks? It's like, we come in peace.
Yeah.
I've not seen that film in so many years. I'd love to go back and revisit it.
It's great fun. It's great fun. Yeah.
He's giving him the finger. The middle finger.
The music, lads. We're not hearing the music here. But the music is fucking doing it all, lads.
It's very Disney-esque. I think it's actually When You Wish Upon a Star is actually in there.
Yeah.
Is that from Pinocchio?
No, it's from... Yeah. You're right, yeah. It's Pinocchio, actually, yeah.
Pinocchio. More Italians, Kevin.
Mamma mia.
A wooden boy.
I'm looking forward to Chris Pratt playing in Italian.
Yeah.
Hold on. What? Where?
Playing Mario.
Chris Pratt is playing Mario.
Oh my god. In an animated version of the film.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh dear. Oh wow.
He's Italian fishing.
He's Italian fishing. Who's Luigi? Luigi.
Oh god.
Wesley Snipes.
The plumber's boy.
I don't know. It's probably fucking that Josh Gad.
I think it might be Zach Galifianakis or something. I think it's like, or maybe he's Bowser. Anyway, here's the dogs looking at the dogs like.
It's the music. The music's doing all the work here in the scene. Jesus Christ, John Williams.
Yeah.
I'm just turning it up in my own head.
I can hear it.
Oh yeah. Joe's not working. And the sphincters closes around his mouth.
So that was it. I really enjoyed it.
And we never found out what E.T. meant. You never find out what E.T. means.
What the fuck is that? That's it. My alien it.
You think they would have? E.T. would have actually told Anne it's a rainbow.
Of course, because it's Pride. Yeah, he's off to his drag queen planet. Here we go. Beautiful final image, and that hard cut where you realise it's all been about Elliot. Such a beautiful image.
Great red hoodie.
And
great
the music.
Costume design.
Oh yeah, I just turned the music up for that moment. Fucking amazing. But Kevin, listen, if you didn't know it was all about Elliot, you obviously really
yeah.
But look,
do you
remember when was it The Force Awakens? The Force Awakens has that moment where Daisy Ridley goes and sees Mark Hamill, and she holds up the lightsaber, and you have the opportunity to just cut on that moment where it's her face, and instead he does that really awkward helicopter shot to end the movie.
Yeah. It should have just stayed on her face. It was it was begging to cut right there. It was
stay
just begging
on the face. Stories are about a character. It's all about one person for the most part, and so you should have stayed on her face.
E.T. created by Carlo Rabbandi.
Yeah, he did a really gruesome.
Wow, you really screwed the pooch on that one, Carlo. You fucked that up.
This is the most controversial opinion ever.
You should see Possession.
I'm sorry, location services called Dick Vane. Janice Boba. Patty Rumpf. Who are these fucking degenerates working on this movie? Sorry,
John Fleckenstein.
Dick Vane. I'm sorry. That's
William Teagarden. Fucking hell.
Let's go.
Leslie
R.I.P.
Butcher.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Disgrace their memory.
They're all dead.
They were all dead. Everyone died.
Haji lick. I thought that was something rude. It's not. Lick litter. I'm sorry. There's quite a lot of rude names in this credits. More than I think you would expect from most films.
Ben Burt's in there. Ben Burt, E.T.'s voice design.
Callum Baldy, he worked on Alien. He worked on King Kong, the remake of King Kong. He did Close Encounters. He's regarded as a bit of a legend. But he also did Possession, which is got a really horrendous, in a good way, monster in that.
What's Possession again? Just remind me.
Possession is the one with Sam Neill.
Yeah.
I think it's 1980. Oh God,
jeez, I'm just completely having a brain fart here. But I know the film you're on about. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
It's very crazy. Isabella Adjani, 1981,
Yes.
Directed by Andrew Zawalski.
Yes.
There we go. So what do you think, lads? Out of 10?
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's still.
That's not out of 10. That's
well, that was my opening gambit. I think it's 8 and above, maybe a 9 or a 10. I mean, it's probably a 9 for me.
Oh my God, for me, it's a 10 or a 10. Because what would you change? What's?
I think I've made it pretty clear what I would change, Kevin.
E.T. just entire.
E.T.
E.T. should be hairier. He should be covered up. He should have feathers.
I think he could look a little, I don't know, less unpleasant.
More cuddly.
Yeah. Should he not be in the form of man? What would I change? I don't know, actually. No, it's a good question. Maybe nothing. Maybe it is a 10. Maybe it is a 10 out of 10.
There we go. Confirmed. And Will, what would you give it?
Yeah, it's a 5 stars for me. I'm on the 5-star scale, and it's forever 5 stars. Even though that special edition kind of has tainted it, just the memory of the special edition cut has tainted it a little bit. But
thank God we didn't watch the special edition though.
Yeah,
all those bathtub scenes and
it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. So yeah, Kevin, you're saying it's a 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5 for you?
Yeah, I give it 100%.
Excellent.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, that was E.T. And Joe, thanks so much for coming along and babbling along with us for the duration of those 2 hours.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And Kevin.
Yes?
But we better say goodbye.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Should come back again sometime.
You can follow us on Best Bits Pod on Twitter, and Joe, you are under @Joe Barton _ on Twitter.
Yes.
Give us a follow. And give us 5 stars on Twitter. Or not on Twitter, on Apple. Thank you.
And a review, please. And a positive review. That would be it's so important.
Night.
And here is a clip from the lads' latest Mini Bits bonus show. The full episode, plus 80 more, are available on their Patreon.
See ya, Mossy. I gotta go in and record another one of these fucking Mini Bits.
Oh, yes, this is all it is.
I know.
What are you doing?
Right now, on the Academy screener site, and I hit play because there's only a few films on it for the first month or two. There's only like about less than 10 films on it. And Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on here. So I hit play on that, and I'm hearing we're out in Afghanistan, and I'm hearing all the dirt, and I hear vehicles, and I hear the sound effects of characters walking. But when characters open their mouths, I don't hear any dialogue.
Oh, they've
no dialogue.
They've uploaded the wrong audio track. It's like that Tom Cruise trailer where it was just the sound effects.
Have you met an SP?
Yeah, and this film has been up on the screener site for a few weeks now, and they still have the wrong one here. Well, I tell you what films are actually up there for all Academy members to see, and to see what they've put up there.
But first of all, let's just throw to our theme. And I have to say, the feedback from my thank you ballad was quite fierce.
The power of Christ compels you.
So I asked Mossy, who is a friend of my dad's at the quiz, sing us a theme tune.
Oh.
So over to Mossy.
I can hit the cards. I'm fine, I'll get it done in one take. It's the Many Bits. Or podcast, what will they say? With Will and Kevin Cock.
Their best fucking podcast.
That'll do.
That'll do.
My God.
Thank you, Mossy.
You would make an angel weep. That voice would make an angel weep.
Telling you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Boolabus.
It only cost us 2 months patron money, so, you know.
Is that all? Money well spent in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much for €20. Will, you were telling me before the intro that you were looking at stuff on the Academy Screeners website.
The Academy Awards. So for official members, yes. So they don't send out DVDs anymore. So how you do all your streaming stuff is all via the Academy website. And the streaming season has begun, which is exciting. So it means for the rest of the year...
Did it ever end?
It does end. It does. After the Academy Awards, there's about 2 weeks, and they take all the films down, and then they begin again at the end of August, and they all start coming up. So it's a whole new collection of hopefuls.
So how many films are on there?
Right now, about 10. Actually, 10 exactly. I can tell you the 10.
Oh, go on, tell me.
John Wick 4.
For the Oscars. Oh, because there's like...
Yes, they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Are they adding it in? Is the stunt category being added?
I believe they're adding in some sort of stunt category.
Breaking news straight from an Academy member's mouth.
Because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Slash film.
I don't know. Did I read this in an article? I feel they were.
I
felt they were.
Have long overlooked stunts, and my God, it's pure artistry.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly, well, these days, it's all fucking rubber computer generated avatars.
That's why we should that's why these people should be getting their Oscars when someone's actually gone out there. Yeah,
go back,
absolutely.
Go back and give it to your man from Mad Max who broke his legs.
Give it to Richard Farnsworth, who was a stuntman and starred in The Straight Story. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth was a career stuntman.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that also the case with Machete? What's your man, Machete? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Is
really?
It Trejo or Trejo?
I always call him Trejo. He just says, call me Danny.
I was going to say that back to you.
Nah.
I was like, just
weird.
Because we just call it.